Plot to install interim government is real, says DSS. Wow. So this rumor about interim government or no interim government is real. Okay. Already, we've seen that people are calling for interim government because a fresh election has to be conducted. This election that Mahmoud Yakubu conducted is a fake election and cannot stand. That is, Tinubu did not win election. He used APC tools, thuggery, and all forms of things, and people in government to truncate the election for himself. And you cannot declare somebody a winner when the voting results are still coming from states to the National Collation Center. So, and even after declaring the person the winner, you are still receiving results from National Collation Center into the database. Does that make sense? Why not you wait for at least a week or two, or let's say 2 weeks, to get all the data so you can have enough data to make decisions, a winning decision? Okay, so the truth is that both the local and international bodies have rejected it. Nigerians have rejected it. We need a fresh election, nothing else. And the only way to do that, because of time constraint, is to put an interim government that will organize that election. If possible, let it be organized by the military. That is the truth. Because it's only when the military organizes it that all these political thugs will not appear. That is it. Okay? So DSS is coming out to say that the plot to install interim government is real. Wow, let's hear their own account of this matter. The Department of State Services, DSS, says it has confirmed a plot by some key players to install an interim government and stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu from being inaugurated as president. The plot includes embarking on violent protests nationwide to engineer the declaration of a state of emergency, as well as securing frivolous court injunctions to stall the inauguration, the DSS said. Can you imagine? In a statement on Wednesday, Peter Afunanya, the public relations officer of the Secret Police, said the Department of State Services has identified some key players in the plot for an interim government in Nigeria. The service considers the plot being pursued by these entrenched interests as not only an aberration but a mischievous way to set aside the constitution and undermine civil rule, as well as plunge the country into an unavoidable crisis. The illegality is totally unacceptable in a democracy and to the peace-loving Nigerians. This is even more so that the machinations is taking place after the peaceful conduct of the election in most parts of the country. So this analysis I'm seeing here shows that the DSS is part of this bad APC government. They are talking now as if the interim government and the plan to have an interim government is a bad one. They are talking now that they have intelligent information. Okay, and now that's the meaning of what I'm saying shows that they will not allow interim government to take place, and they will fight against any form of protest that will happen in Nigeria. This DSS is obviously writing as a tool and as a member of APC. That is what I see from here, because they have been bought over and they are working by the dictates of the current government. There have been agitations for Tinubu, the president-elect, not to be inaugurated on May 29 based on complaints by his opponents on the presidential election. Dati Baba Ahmed, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, specifically called on President Muhammadu Buhari and Olukayode Ariwola, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, not to inaugurate Tinubu, tagging it as illegality. And that is what it is. Some demonstrators also went to the Defense Headquarters building in Abuja on Tuesday to protest the outcome of the presidential election in what might be understood as an invitation for military intervention. Afunanya alleged that some protesters are being sponsored. The planners, in their many meetings, have weighed various options, which include, among others, to sponsor endless violent mass protests in major cities to warrant a declaration of state of emergency. Another is to obtain frivolous court injunctions to forestall the inauguration of new executive administration and legislative house at the federal and state levels, he said. The DSS supports the president and commander-in-chief in his avowed commitment to a hitch-free handover and will assiduously work in this direction. It also supports the Presidential Transition Council and such other related bodies in the state. It will collaborate with them and sister security and law enforcement agencies to ensure seamless inauguration come 29 May 2023. So you want to see a seamless inauguration, but you did not see a seamless election being conducted in Nigeria. Shame to DSS. Consequently, the service strongly warns those organizing to thwart democracy in the country to retract from their devious schemes and orchestrations. Stakeholders, notably judicial authorities, media, and the civil society, are enjoined to be watchful and cautious to avoid being used as instruments to subvert peace and stability of the nation. While its monitoring continues, the DSS will not hesitate to take decisive and necessary legal steps against these misguided elements to frustrate their obnoxious intentions. So these DSS people now are talking like reasonable people. Okay? So this is quite unfortunate. Okay? This is quite unfortunate that DSS is coming to say the plot to put interim government is real and is trying to say that there's a plan to get a kind of court injunction, frivolous court injunction, to stall the inauguration ceremony of Tinubu. At the same time, to also sponsor a nationwide protest that will necessitate state of emergency and military to take over. Okay? So don't worry. When the time comes, we'll see who is stronger in this business. It's evil against good or good against evil. And definitely Nigeria, this impunity that these current politicians have in Nigeria must be broken and must stop. It's obviously going to stop. We cannot continue like this. DSS in this write-up has proven that they are part of this bad government because they are feeding fat from it. And not all of them, some of them are just carrying on, they are suffering. Some of them, their allowances are being owed. Okay? It's only the chiefs, the security chiefs that are chopping, are enjoying themselves, and that are using the smaller people to make statements that does not represent the interest of the entire team or entire Nigerians. Okay, so Nigeria has come of age and of time, and now we don't want anyhow government anymore. We want a genuine government that will turn Nigeria around for good, whether people like it or not. But let's see how all of this will go, because definitely evil will not have its way anymore in Nigeria. People are determined to make things happen this time around, and that is how it will work. And there's nothing here, it's nothing different. It's just going to be power of the masses. The power of the people is being brought into play here. The few elected politicians cannot be more powerful than the electorate that elected them in Nigeria, or that actually casted the vote. Okay, so the few politicians controlling the affairs of the country cannot be more powerful than the nation itself. At the end of the day, let them ground everything, and let us start all over again. And let's see who the government will rule. That is the truth. Let's ground everything. Okay? Shut down all institutions, shut down everywhere, and let the president stay at Abuja, and then let's see how he will preside. So thank you for listening. This is what is coming from the DSS, and let's have your own view and comment around it.